Baseball giveth and then taketh away. Softball sweeps, track and field comes home, and women's golf with their best ever Sun Belt finish. All that plus more coming up on Trojan Sports Now.
Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm your host, Micah Grimes. Coming up, I'll give you recaps, highlights, and all the latest in Trojan sports news. Off the top, let's recap from earlier in the week. On Wednesday, the Trojan baseball team took a break from Sun Belt Conference play for a little in-state rivalry against the Blazers of UAB. The Trojans hadn't played since Friday as 2 of 3 games were canceled due to rain. This game, though, was a slugfest for the Trojans. Miles Hoyle and Trevor Tyre got a Yahtzee ball over the fence twice each. And Stephen Felix scored 3 times on his 21st birthday to lead the Trojans to an 11-3 win.
Played another very solid game tonight. All started with Jason Walls on the mound, pitching really good. Travis Burge threw well and Jeff Green. Big nights from Miles Hoyle and Trevor Tyre. Stephen Felix had a good night. Good solid baseball game all the way around. Big win for us.
And on Wednesday night, the Trojans followed the Blazers back to Birmingham like a bully follows his victim home from school. This time, though, the Trojan pitching staff was rocked for 16 hits. The offense wasn't lacking, but the defense certainly was. UAB scored 5 runs in the 4th inning and 4 in the 6th and 7th inning each. The scoring barrage was a result of 8 walks, 3 errors, 2 hit batters, 2 balks, and a passed ball. Sounds more like the 12 days of Christmas. On offense, though, Hoyle and Tyre homered, along with Chad Watson and Charlie Williams. But it doesn't matter how much you score if the other team scores more than you. That's a John Madden analysis right there. Troy ends their win streak at 6 games, losing 15-8. The team returns to Troy this weekend for another Sun Belt series. We'll preview that series with Lafayette coming up later. While one Trojan bat and ball team played a home and away trade-off, the Trojan softball team went down George Wallace, down 231, over I-10 to take on FAMU in Tallahassee, sweeping the Rattlers Tuesday afternoon. The girls took Game 1 7-1 and then grabbed a shutout victory in Game 2, 4 to the Goose Egg. Ashlyn Williams and Allison Moore led the Trojans, starting opposite each other in the 2 games. Coach Melanie Davis on Troy's non-conference wins.
Well, all in all, I was very pleased with how the kids approached the doubleheader. This time of the year, it's sometimes difficult to approach a non-conference doubleheader with much enthusiasm, and we tried to look at FAMU as a conference opponent and utilize the experience we gained there to prepare ourselves for future conference contests. Our kids stepped up really well to the challenge. We only gave up 1 run on the day, although FAMU put the ball in play really well against our pitching. We made some quality pitches and some great defensive plays and only gave up 1 unearned run on the day. So I was real pleased with the overall defensive and pitching performance.
The Trojans playing some ping pong this week with opponents this weekend as UAB's softball team comes to visit Troy University this weekend. Junior Tiffany Baker is having a tremendous junior season with 3 new school records. Baker has qualified for the NCAA Regionals and has a pair of Sun Belt Conference Field Athlete of the Week awards this year. Baker has already set new school records in the discus, hammer, and shot put in the first 6 weeks of the outdoor season. The 200-meter record on the men's side could be in jeopardy this season as Lamar Hicks, an NCAA qualifier in the last event at last weekend's War Eagle Invitational in Auburn, looks to challenge the Troy record of 21.14 seconds. The only other male athlete to qualify to regionals is junior Leander McKenzie, who did so in the 110-meter hurdles, also at the War Eagle Invitational. After being hampered by an injury all winter, he is back and qualifying in the event. He looks to break his own record of 14 seconds in the same event this weekend. The Trojan tennis teams were in action in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament this past weekend, and although neither team walked away with the championship, the women fared slightly better than the men. The women made it through to the semifinals, losing to the home team North Texas 4-2 on Saturday. The men didn't make it past the first round of play, falling to second-seeded Florida Atlantic 4-1 on Saturday. The women end their season with an 11-7 record, while the men end at 7-11 record on the season. That's a flip-flop on how their seasons went. The women have a much better season than the men this year. The Trojan Rodeo team finished their season over the weekend with a solid performance at the University of Tennessee Martin College Rodeo. The women's team finished the rodeo with 335 points to earn 3rd place for the last rodeo of the year in the Ozark region. The men of Troy earned 320 points on the weekend, placing them in 6th best. Junior Mary Owens led the Trojans with 160 total points on the weekend. Owens was 2nd in the championship round with a total time of 27 seconds in 2 rounds of competition. Senior Ben Mayworth claimed first in cap roping, narrowly beating teammate Clint Keller, who placed second. Trojan soccer is putting a wrap on the spring season. Amidst all practices and workouts, the team has been traveling and playing in several matches and tournaments around the Southeast, going undefeated. With the victories, the Trojans were named champions of both the inaugural Troy 7-on-7 spring tournament and the 7-on-7 hosted by Jacksonville State. Several team members were recognized in an award luncheon on April 19th for their hard work and success this past season. Jill Pender was named Player of the Year. Newcomer of the Year is Ashley Branham. The Trojan Award went to Mary Morris, and the Trojan Scholar Athlete is Sarah Sanders. Pender also received a plaque for being Sunbelt Player of the Week and Soccer Buzz National Team of the Week in the fall. She is the first Troy player to receive either honor. Head coach Chris Bentley says it was a successful year, breaking records in the fall, and the spring was another building block to the fall. The Troy University women's golf team posted its best ever finish in the belt, posting a final round score of 12 over 300 to finish 6th at the conference championship tournament at Cypress Wood Golf Club in Houston. The University of Denver dominated the field from the start to finish, posting a 6 under par score of 282 in Wednesday's final round to finish at 5 under par for the tournament, 14 strokes ahead of second place UALR. Freshman Nikki Crowley was the top individual performer for the Trojans, posting a final round score of 2 under par 70. Crowley finished tied for 15th overall with a 3-day score of 11 over par 227. Sophomore Liz Balcom shot a final round score of 76 to slip into a tie for 23rd in the tournament with a final score of 14 over par 230. In the men's tournament, the Trojans dropped into 10th place with a final round score of 300. Troy finished 35 shots back of tournament winner Middle Tennessee. Senior Jay Harris was the top individual performer for Troy, finishing tied for 33rd. Fellow senior Wes Parker finished 1 shot behind his teammate in a tie for 37th after a final round score of 74. Well, still to come on Trojan Sports Now, baseball is back in Troy and UAB comes to town to take on softball. We'll tell you all about it. Also, the Coach O Invitational is this weekend. Records are likely to be broken. But first, he defied everyone's doubt in 2007 and became a starting left guard on Troy's offensive line as a freshman walk-on. Find out who he is next on Trojan Sports Now. And Troy's starting left guard, Tyler Clark, joins us now. Clark, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Micah.
That's good to hear. Clark is 19 years old. He's now going to be a 3-year starter here at Troy. He has 19 starts under his belt and 25 altogether in games dating back to his freshman year. Talk to me first real quick, Clark. What was it like starting your first game as an offensive lineman?
Well, I really didn't know what to expect. Coach Franklin came over there, the offensive coordinator at that time, and he just told me it was my time. So I just went out there and it was exhilarating. It was a great experience.
You know, a lot of people may not know this. Clark is a walk-on, and he actually walked on as a freshman. Clark, you want to start as a freshman walk-on. That's probably one of the most rare things for a Division I football player to do. What was that like that first year for you?
It was fun. It was something I wasn't expecting, just coming in here being a walk-on, but you know, I've just been blessed beyond measure.
So those first few games, what was it like for you? Going, you know, you get out there, you go, you know, straight from high school to Division I, playing guys like Arkansas and Florida. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, I played in a pretty heated high school in Birmingham, so I went against a lot of people that played Alabama, played Auburn, but you can't really explain what goes into facing a team, such teams like that. But it was fun. You just gotta remember technique, and you just gotta go out there and just do it.
Alrighty, talk a little bit about playing those big time teams. You know, I said Florida. You guys have played Florida, Georgia, LSU, and Ohio State. Talk a little bit about Ohio State. Y'all played them last year. What was that like going on up to that stadium?
That was like a coliseum. It was probably the most prolific stadium I've ever been in. It was just it was breathtaking. It was.
What was it like playing in front of more than 100,000 people? You know,
it got loud. It did get loud. Just playing a team of that caliber, you know, you kind of put them up on a pedestal, but they're really just players like me. So.
Yeah, this offense, they kind of have a thing for taking down the big giants. Are getting close. It happened a few times last year at Ohio State. You guys had them till the fourth quarter. At LSU, you know, y'all